A couple of years, huh?
So I'm in Levan, Utah today with Ron and Brent Harper. And when you read Mopar Collector's Guide, one of the things that's stated in there is this blue car in the background is my first recollection growing up in Nephi, Utah. And I'll tell you this story. So one day I was at the Ike's gas station riding my bike, and the talk at the gas station was that this badass blue Dodge was going to come all the way in the 10 miles from Levan to Nephi, and they were coming to town to kick some ass that night. So, as a 6 or 7 year old kid, this was my first impression of a muscle car. And before us today are the two owners of the car. And I just got through mentioning that story to Ron. But Ron was the original owner. Ron, was it true you were going to come into Nephi and kick some ass?
We were planning on doing that about every time we went to Nephi. And we did it most times, yes. I never run across anything to beat me. So whether there was some pretty weak cars in there or whether this was a super car, I don't know, but it would run, yes.
So was it more fun to run with the 4-speed with the Max Wedge motor or the 383?
Oh, with the Max Wedge.
Definitely.
So describe to me what it's like to bang the gears in a 426 Max Wedge.
Going from a 383 to that 426, and there was no letting up on shifting. It was always power shift, so you had to be a little bit careful when you hit second. You might get a little out of shape. Yeah. So it'd set you back and you'd go for it. It was a major deal.
And you were running 410s in the rear end?
We were running 410s in the rear end, Detroit Locker 410. And I told you earlier about we would tow a 59 Ford 200 miles behind this car to races in St. George, drag race all day on Sunday, hook it back up and tow it all the way back to here or into Provo, another 50 miles, and never worry about blowing anything up. I never did blow anything up, so they're tough.
Well, that's quite the story to be towing a race car with a race car and driving down the road with 410s. Would you like to do that today?
No way. And it was all two-lane, major two-lane roads all the way too.
Yeah, 55-mile-an-hour speed limit.
So you guys are the true bad influencers, right? So if you had that kind of influence on me, can I call you bad influencers?
Yeah, you can.
Definitely. Yes, absolutely yes.
Well, there you have it, folks. There's the car that started it all. And I started hounding Ron in 2003 to get this car done because it was in Levan still. And then you were telling me, Brent, that you helped be the motivator here for this bad influence, right?
I was a prodder to get him to get that car down to your show for several years, but he kept saying, well, it needed a little piece of trim here and there, and I come up with the trim, and we got it on, and the dash pad, and I said, so what else do you need to do to take this to Las Vegas? He says, I think it's ready to go. So a couple of years ago, we had it all ready and loaded her up, and down the road we went.
So a couple of questions for you. Now that it's all done and you're reliving the memories you had as 16, 18-year-old kids, how much fun is this car?
Oh, wow. You just can't explain it.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I don't drive it a whole lot. I may put 500 miles a year on it, so we go to a few car shows around here, and I don't drive it anything like I used to. I used to drive it everywhere, didn't worry about it, but it's worth too much now for that.
It was definitely a party machine. All the guys wanted to pile in the back seat, head out on the road. 5 of us, didn't care where we was going. We just took off and went. Had a pair of pliers, screwdrivers, and channel locks. That's all we needed.
So the real question for you is, Ron, when you open the shop doors and you look in there, does the car still give you the same feeling as it did when you were 16 and you bought the car?
It gives me the same feeling when I see it, and especially that roof line. That's what really sets it off, I think, is the roof line in it. And anybody that comes in that shop and sees it makes the same comment. So,
Well, how about you, Brent? Does it feel the same to you when you see this car out running down the road and you hear it running?
It does, you know, and to hear it run and look at it run, and then to be able to go over and get in the car itself and drive it again is it is this experience. You really can't explain the feelings, you know, because it does makes me feel like I'm 16 years old again, going and looking for a girlfriend.
yeah.
So there's quite a bond between this car and Two Brothers, is what I'm understanding.
Definitely,
Oh yeah.
absolutely, yes.
Well, we appreciate your time today. Anything else you'd like to say about this car?
Other than that, it's the one type of car that's been through two teenage boys and it's still running and all four wheels are on it.
Still going, yeah.
Yep.
All right, well, there you have it, the Harpers from Levan, Utah.